Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Welcome to His Holiness Chandramauli Swami Maharaj's daily call. Today we will have the wonderful opportunity to hear from Vrsabha Prabhu, who is one of Maharaj's disciples. Hare Krishna Prabhu, thanks for joining. And we will be discussing Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 7, verse 49. So I will begin sharing and hand over to you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Do you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, Prabhu.
Okay, because I'm always have to be checked with this, all this. Trying to be a disciple, just because we are initiated, we have to prove ourselves now. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, thank you very much for this opportunity. We have an amazing verse and really nice things to speak about. Would anyone want to read the verse? I can do the Sanskrit though. I can do the Sanskrit, so if somebody can read the verse for others. So let's start.
I can. Hare Krishna.
Trupti, Jai. Okay, I will just start with the mantras. I will read the Sanskrit and then if
Sorry,
you can
Guru
read
Priya
the...
Mataji wants to read it. She can read as well.
Yeah, sure. No problem.
Would you like to read, Guru Priya Mataji? Yeah, please go ahead. Please go ahead.
Whatever as you say, yes.
Yeah, please go ahead. Please go ahead. Hare Krishna.
Nice. Yeah, you're like fighting for service. Wow, that's already a good start. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Yep. You're reading from the second canto, 7th chapter, verse number 49. Sa shreyasamapi vibhur bhagavan yatosya bhagavan svabhava vihitasya sata prasidhi dehesvadatu vigamenu vishiryamane vyome vatatra purushona vishiryate yaha. Please, Mataji.
Yes, Hare Krishna. Am I audible?
Yes.
Yeah, good. The personality of Godhead is the supreme master of everything auspicious because the results of whatever actions are performed by the living being in either the material or spiritual existence are awarded by the Lord. As such, he is the ultimate benefactor. Every individual living entity is unborn, and therefore, even after the annihilation of a material elementary body, the living entity exists exactly like the air within the body. Thank you. The purport. Shall I read the all?
Yes, yes, if you can.
Okay. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai.
Jai.
The living entity is unborn and eternal, and as confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita 230, the living entity is not exhausted even though the material elementary body is vanquished. As long as the living entity is in material existence, actions performed by him are rewarded in the next life, or even in the present life. Similarly, in his spiritual life, also actions are rewarded by the Lord by the 5 kinds of liberation. Even the impersonalists cannot achieve the desired merging into the existence of the Supreme without being favored by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It is confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita 4:11 that the Lord awards similar results as one desires in one's present life. The living entities are given freedom to make their choice, and the Lord awards them accordingly. It is the duty of everyone, therefore, to worship devoutly only the personality of Godhead to achieve his desired goal. The impersonalist, instead of speculating or meditating, can directly execute the routine devotional service of the Lord and thus easily obtain the desired goal. The devotees, however, are naturally inclined to become associates of the Lord and not merge in the spiritual existence as conceived by the impersonalists. The devotees, therefore, following their constitutional instincts, achieve the desired goal of becoming servitors, friends, fathers, mothers, or conjugal lovers of the Lord. The devotional service of the Lord involves 9 transcendental processes, such as hearing and chanting, and by performing such easy and natural devotional services, the devotees achieve the highest perfectional results, far, far superior to merging into the existence of Brahman. The devotees are therefore never advised to indulge in speculating upon the nature of a supreme or artificially meditating on the void. One should not, however, mistakenly think that after the annihilation of this present body, there is nobody by which one can associate with the Lord face to face. The living entity is unborn. It is not that he is manifest with the creation of a material body. On the other hand, it is true that the material body develops only by the desire of a living entity. The evolution of a material body is due to the desires of a living being. According to the desires of a living being, the material body develops. So, from the spirit soul, the material body comes into existence, generated from the living force. Since the living being is eternal, he exists just like the air within the body. Air is within and without the body. Therefore, when the external covering, material body, is vanquished, the living spark, like the air within the body, continues to exist. And by the direction of the Lord, because he is the ultimate benefactor, the living entity is at once awarded the necessary spiritual body befitting his association with the Lord in the manner of Sarupya, equal bodily feature, Salokya, equal facility to live on the same planet with the Lord, Sashti, equal possession of opulence like the Lord, and Samipya, equal association with the Lord. The Lord is so kind that even if a devotee of the Lord cannot fulfill the complete course of devotional service, unalloyed and uncontaminated by material association, he is given another chance in the next life by being awarded above in the family of a devotee or rich man, so that without being engaged in the struggle for material existence, the devotee can finish the remaining purification of his existence and thus, immediately after relinquishing the present body, go back home, back to Godhead. This is confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita. In this connection, detailed information is available in the Bhagavad Sandarbha of Srila Jiva Goswami Prabhupada. Once achieving the spiritual existence, The devotee is eternally situated there, as already discussed in the previous verse. Hare Krishna.
Amazing. Yeah, amazing. Please, let's do once more the Sanskrit verse and I will do the Sanskrit verse and the translation once more. Thank you very much. So, Sashreyasam api vibhur bhagavan yatosya bhava svabhava vihitasya sata prasidhi dehesvadatu vigamenu vishiryamane yomeva tatra purushona vishiryate jaham. And translation. The personality of Godcast is the supreme master of everything auspicious, because the results of whatever action are performed by the living being, is either the material or spiritual existence, are rewarded by the Lord. As such, he is the ultimate benefactor. Every individual living entity is unborn, and therefore, even after the annihilation of the material elementary body, the living entity exists exactly like the air within the body. Om Jnana-timirandasya Gnana Shalakaya Chakshu Umilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Namo Bhishtam Svapitamye Bhutale Swayam Rupam Kadanmayam Dadanti Svapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yudapadakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamscham Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sakagana Raghudatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Savadvitam Savadutam Parijana Sakitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabhanu Jagatpate Gopisha Gopakanta Radhikanta Namostute Tamta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhavindavaneswari Vrishabhanusvata Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripasindhubhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishnaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashte Shatarine Jayo Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Kadhadara Srivasati Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishta Bhutale Srimate Candramauli Swami Niti Namine. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you very much for this opportunity to speak shortly for the next 20 minutes, right to the point. And for that, I would like this session to be a little transformative. And how we're going to do this? We're going to do a meditation. So I would ask Eka Chakra, Mother, if you can find on YouTube Krishna Balaram Temple meditation. It's called Krishna Balaram Temple flute. Yeah, something like that. Krishna Balaram Temple flute music. It's really nice. I listen to it often. And if you can play it in the background while I'm speaking, it will help us to go deep into meditation. So why this meditation? Because we want to sink our mind in the points of Bhagavatam. Deep relaxing.
Is that first one, Prabhu?
Scroll a little down, a little more. Little. Krishna. Just a second. Right, Krishna Balaram Temple flute music temple, because it's like you can see the cover is the front of the Krishna Balaram Temple in a little further lower. It's oh yeah,
This one?
Vrindavan meditation. Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah. I mean, I hope it's bona fide, but I don't think the Mayavadis will. I don't think Mayavadis were doing this one. Yeah. So how does this work? Can you hear the music and my voice at the same time?
Yes,
Oh, we
Prabhu.
don't. I don't hear the music though. Okay. Then we will just
Can you hear it
make
now?
it little, just enough in the background. Just little in the
Did
background.
you hear it when I was playing it just now?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
We will try it out anyway. Just make it a little less loud.
I'm not sure I can control the volume. I think.
Yeah. Try. Just lower it on the YouTube.
Yeah. On YouTube, it's
Yeah.
okay.
On the other side, just next to the play button, the third button. Yeah. Just put it half. Yeah, that's perfect.
Is that okay?
Okay. Little less. Can you make it a little less? Okay. Dear devotees, let's relax a little, please. And we will see how this goes. But I want you to get into the meditation mood. I want you to introspect. What I want you to meditate on is how you are not this body. Please focus your mind fully on the points that you are a soul in a body. Stop identifying with your role as a male or female. Just let go of the concept of the body. Meditate as you are a spark. You are unborn. And you are just temporary in this body. Understand, you have nothing to do with this body. You are separate from it. And you are eternal. You are not vanquished when the body is vanquished. You're just observing what's happening to the body. You're always safe. Experience fearlessness. Experience detachment from your body. And when you understand that you're not this body, understand you have another nature. You have a nature beyond this body. You have relationships beyond this body. We have a whole life beyond this body. This is what we are trying to enliven ourselves. We want this life we have beyond this body to come in front, to become our main life. See how detached you are from all the situations in this world, from all the persons you know. And try to be aware of this life you have beyond this body. Sink deep in this thought. Let it go deep in your mind and your consciousness. Develop a desire to live this life beyond the body. This desire to be in our constitutional position beyond this body. Please let this desire sink really deeply in you. That yes, I'm not this body, and I want to live my life, my natural constitution, with Krishna. Experience happiness, joy, limitlessness, eternity, no boundaries anymore. In my life with Krishna, there is no boundaries. There's conditioning me in this world. We have to endeavor for that. And this is our goal. To live the life beyond this body. Even feel a separation from this life, which actually feels much more natural. This life beyond this body, which feels like we know it already, feels familiar. Be aware of that. And desire to attain. When you're ready, you can come back to this situation. And in 10 seconds, we are gonna come back to the lecture. Very nice. It was like we even practiced this before. I hope that you heard me somewhat. Because what is happening here? We kind of put our mind in the mental space where we are kind of just have a short excursion out of our, mind absorbing material life. And this time we took our dog minds to a walk. And this is what we are actually trying to do. We are chatting as well. Kind of go to that space where we are out of this body, out of this mental space of materialism, and where we are actually getting aware of the reality behind this body. We are really fortunate that we have this knowledge, because yogis usually, mystical powers, jnana, yoga, and all other processes, it starts with knowledge. Somebody tells you, look, you're in this body, you're the soul, and through the meditation, they're trying to realize it. Otherwise, if you're just trying to meditate on, just like random things, then maybe you will realize you're a cockroach or a tomato or something. So we are guided. We are guided by the knowledge of the parampara. And we are so lucky because we don't have to speculate who is God, how it looks like, what he's doing, how to reach him, everything is given to us, everything. We just need to practice it and understand that the mind is the one who is actually standing in the way. So, okay, now how to reach that space, how to reach this life beyond this body. How to reach it? Well, here Krishna says that he gives all the results. Interesting. Results of all of spiritual and material desires. Which means that we are actually not the one responsible for our spiritual advancement, but it's Krishna and Guru. It's Kripa Siddhi, Sadhana Siddhi. So it's Krishna giving the results of our sadhana, or Gurudev giving his kripa that actually makes us advance. Bhaktivedanta Swami would say, it's not my endeavors that made me advance, but the prayers of my spiritual master. And this is what he's mentioning here. So how to get this, if it's about, Krishna, just, pointing, moving his finger in one way or another. So how to kind of, Krishna, I'm here, please, you can, be merciful unto me. Well, the key is the surrender. And now we have to learn how to surrender, though. It sounds like, nice concept. And the devotees are really lucky who surrendered. Pandavas, really interesting. Pandavas were highly qualified kings, kshatriyas, highly qualified. But the Kunti, in the first canto, 8th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam, verse number 36, maybe 37. Kunti is praying that even though we are highly qualified, without your mercy, we cannot do anything. So Yudhishthir is one of the most qualified kings in the world, emperor. But he considers himself like, oh Krishna, you are you're such a you are such a deceiver, because even though you're the supreme personality of Godhead, you take a subordinate position to the kings which are really proud and degraded. And he's speaking about himself, how Krishna took subordinate position to Yudhishthir. And he's deceiving all other kings which are envious of him. That's, oh, look, yeah, he's like just a Shudra or something, some Vaishya or something, He's not Supreme Personality of Godhead, He doesn't bow to anyone. But we have knowledge. We have knowledge to understand Krishna by the Guru Parampara and Acharyas, which other people are not able to understand, even if in millions of years they are trying to speculate about it. Because Acharyas say this is humility of Krishna. And this is because, Krishna is also the supreme humility, and we understand him as he is. But, if you ask just anyone else about this pastime and what he thinks about it, he would say, yeah, Krishna is not God, he's just some guy, or have many other misconceptions. So regarding the surrender part, it's really interesting because in one way, we have to endeavor a lot. We have to endeavor a lot in our spiritual practice. But as we see in this verse, the result doesn't depend on us. So how does this work? It sounds like somebody torturing us, like it's like boss saying, okay, you do this job, but will you get it, will you get the results of this job or not? Depends on me. And if you get the results, then you're gonna please me. But will you get results depend on me as well? It's like, so how does that work? So it looks like by your mercy I'm pleasing you, and not by my endeavor. So what's the point of my endeavor there? So there are 3 factors that I just read recently, which interesting. I was even using it in the Sankirtan. It's really kind of interesting because when I go to service, I actually don't try to do service, except especially Sankirtan. It's like it can be really like, the false ego gets lots of unkind words. But I stopped trying to do Sankirtan though. I try to do something else. I try to learn how to be brave, how to endeavor, and at the same time to depend on the mercy of the Lord. It's kind of quite a skill, isn't it? So you have to endeavor a lot too. It's like your endeavor, your courage, and the mercy of the Lord. And for me, successful service is one we managed to learn more how to surrender to the Lord while we are actively using our intelligence to do it really nicely and being bold for Krishna, especially for preaching, It's like, my mind would be giving me hundreds of reasons why not to approach that person right now. And I'm like, I'm gonna approach him anyway. It's like, oh, he looks like a high class personnel. He will not even take a book, don't try even, this is what my mind is, my rascal mind saying. And I'm like, no, I'm gonna boldly do it anyway. I don't know what I'm doing. I mean, of course, and I know something what I'm doing, but what will I exactly tell them? I have no idea. And depending on Krishna's mercy. And for me, when we are doing service, there is external result and there is internal result. External result can be number of books, preachers, preaching efforts, I don't know. Did things end up really nicely in the kitchen? Did we manage to clean it nicely? Or is the family happy? So whatever results externally we can observe. Or let's say, did I chant my 60 rounds early in the morning? It can also be a result externally. But for me, did I get the internal results? Internal result of my endeavor. This is what actually I'm interested in. Bhakti. Bhakti is that external thing, internal thing. So to get the mercy of the Lord, which is interesting, to be empowered, to do an amazing job, to do lots of preaching, but not like just to get the numbers, but actually to really influence people, to really attract people to Krishna consciousness, to really make Srila Prabhupada, Gurudev, and Krishna proud and happy. And why would Krishna give us these results? It depends on the surrender, which, like recently during these lectures, like these verses, I defined that in my actual practice, at least, courage and work hard. This is what Prabhupada said: work hard, be courageous, but also at the same time depend on the mercy of the Lord. And if I manage to master this, doesn't matter if I don't distribute even a single book, I don't care. But if I master that, results have to be there. But internal result is there, the humility. And the Vaishnava, and everything. And then when you see Krishna reciprocates, because you're conquering him by these endeavors. Then he reciprocates, and then you're even more grateful to him, and then your faith increases, and it's just that you're gonna do more things to like Mahotsaha Prabhu, he's amazing. He I'm gonna do a few hundred books a day, then I'm gonna do 1,000 books a day, then and I will do even more books a day. Then he's 1,000 books a day, then 5,000 books a day, 55 Srimad Bhagavatam sets in one day. Krishna reciprocates. Krishna reciprocates. And one more point I wanted to share. One more point I would like to share about this verse, which really kind of struck me. It's one of the last points of the purport. I heard before as well something similar, which we should take into account. We hear that, when we get initiated, if the disciple doesn't finish his work this lifetime, spiritual master comes for him the next life. And here is mentioned that if devotee of the Lord cannot fulfill the complete course of devotional service unalloyed and uncontaminated by material association, he gets another chance. But this is the catch. Only the really sincere ones get this chance. Only the really sincere ones. Spiritual master is not obliged to pick up some disciple who is actually stop practicing, not sincerely trying to follow the instructions. So it's not that nobody will kind of blame you if you are not strictly following everything, even for regular principles, if you are not really strictly. But we are being condemned if we are not sincerely trying. And if we are not, trying to deviate or try to excuse and, maybe these four regular principles are not important. Maybe we don't have to be so strict and everything. Maybe it's not this and that and this and that. If you take it lightly like that, then it's, it's other thing is if you say look, I've had to really, really, temper a lot and it will take me a lot of time, no problem. But if you just say oh, just forget it, we can follow three regular principles, not four or something, or we don't have to follow it strictly, then whose fault is that? And then the spiritual master is not obliged to save that disciple, but one who is sincerely trying. And let's say, I don't think that's possible, but let's imagine Sri Devi, as amazing devotee she is, something happens and, I don't know, maybe one gulab jamun or something, she has to stay in the material world. And then, Gurudev is in spiritual world, where's Sri Devi, she's like, anyway, the rascal, let's be going pick it up. Pick it up. Of course, maybe he will not personally come, maybe he will, show herself in a dream, and maybe he will send some representative who will pick her up and such. But these are the souls that are, they are sheltered. Even if but some kind of a crazy thing do not manage to perfect themselves, they are taken care of. So, yeah, just to have that in mind, so that we do not take lightly that we are never satisfied with our surrender. We are never satisfied with how much we are doing for our spiritual master. We are never satisfied. At the moment you are satisfied, that is the moment you stop doing anything. This is my case. I have to always push myself. And one thing that I'm going to push myself in the next period, which I've read, devotional life is not only unmotivated, but also it's uninterrupted. And I found a really interesting statement, what this uninterrupted means. It's mentioned, it's not only that we serve when we are enthusiastic and happy and motivated, but we serve and do our service even if we are under big distress. And I see many pure devotees being in such a challenging positions. And I see it as Krishna's desire that if fully show their glory by serving him even in the most impossible conditions. And I see Maharaj constantly pushing himself, like he's tired, he's this and that, he's constantly pushing himself. He's never stopping serving Krishna under any circumstances. And it's like, he cannot, it's like amazing. And I was just thinking like, oh yeah, I'm actually, the whole life I'm trying to, come to sattva, to goodness, and then gonna serve, but that's not the mood. The mood is like, even if you're suffering, you should still like serve, and it's even more glorious. But of course, I want to also be healthy so I can, give myself more. Not to do like some kamikaze program, but anyway. So I will stop here. And that devotees, if you can, please reflect on this and let me know. Was it anything interesting, useful, anything you would like to, contribute, correct me, and anything? Yeah.
Thank you so much, Vrsabha Prabhu, for that very interesting experiential class is how I might describe it. I think we had some comments in the chat about it. I think devotees really found that really wonderful, that experience that you gave. So thank you so much. And so many takeaways from your class, especially that Sri Devi Mataji might not make it because of a gulab jamun.
It is my anartha that I reflect on, a pure devotee election.
There she is. Not just because of gulab jamun, because of many attachments.
No, it's I say it's impossible, but we just give it an example on the big, and the pure devotees, then it's more unlikely to happen.
No, I was just kidding. But yeah, really wonderful points about surrender, about your reflection on internal results versus external results, and then the last point you made around not just unmotivated devotional service, but also uninterrupted. So yeah, thank you for so many wonderful points in the class. Dear devotees, please do come on camera so we can have a nice interactive discussion in this Q&A element, and any comments you may have as well. Please raise your virtual hands and I'll call on you. If you've got any questions or comments and you're unable to speak, then you can pop it in the chat and I'll also read that out on your behalf. So we can kick off with Drupti Mataji. Please go ahead.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees, all glories to Guru Maharaj, all glories to Srila Prabhupada and all Vaishnavas, Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Vishnu Prabhu. It was wonderful, wonderful class, breath of fresh air in doing this meditation. And I almost went to go Vrindavan, but I think something's stopping me there. But that was a very good out-of-body experience. My soul taken out and it was in body, not body in the soul, other way around. And that was amazing. Thank you so much. The beautiful flute music. And yes, as Mataji said, those points you touched on, surrender and unmotivated and uninterrupted, and all these services, and how we can be forgiven and even taken, even if we are sincere enough. And following the four regulative principles sincerely and devotionally, and then that's really hit me in a way that I feel a little bit satisfied now that I know I'm very lack in reading, but the four regulative principles I'm very serious about, and I'm trying my utmost best to do it. And now and again, sometime when I'm stuck, I call me Sri Devi Mataji to give me a little bit push and a little bit boost and a little bit of advice. I take her advice as a senior devotee, and she's amazing, as you said. Just at her love of gulab jamun, yes, that's the only thing.
I'm so
Thank
sorry.
you so much. Thank you so much, Vishnu Prabhu. It was wonderful class. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
I think I made an insult now. I have to repent.
Thank you, Drupti Mataji. Sri Devi Mataji, go ahead.
Dear Vrishabha Prabhu, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj. And thank you, Eka Chakra Devi, for giving me this chance to speak a little bit. It's not just gulab jamun. We have many, many, many attachments to the material world. And so, it is very challenging because we have, of course, been associating with the material energy for a long, long, long time. And the process of bhakti yoga is meant to get us out of the entanglement of the material energy and to tell us who we really are, eternally servant of Krishna, meant to engage in the service of Krishna 24/7, which is in this material world. In the spiritual world, there is no such thing as time, which is conspicuous by its absence. There's simply loving servitorship, and it's always the present. There's no past, there's no future. Every moment is blissful, and it is timeless. So we cannot even understand what the spiritual world is like. It's beyond our understanding, beyond our imagination. We can just get a little glimpse from time to time from hearing about Krishna through the mouths of the great sages and saints and seers of the truth, like Srila Prabhupada, when was told that, oh, there's no God, we cannot see God. Saying, you have not seen the man who has seen God. That's why you say it's not possible to see God or there is no God. But there is a God, and I have seen him. He didn't say, I have seen him. We can see him, he said. So at another point, another lady in the audience, once she challenged, she's saying, have you seen God? Like this. And Prabhupada answered calmly, yes. And she was so shocked by that answer, she was just silent. He's saying, do you want to see God? You can also see him. And she couldn't answer anything after that. She couldn't say a word. So we may claim, oh, I want Krishna, oh, I want to be spiritual, this, that. And most of the time it's just a bunch of hot air, We really are very attached to this material world. Given a chance right now, if you could go back to Krishna, would you go? No. You'll say, oh, what about my grandchildren? What about my home? What about my bank balance? What about this? What about that? No, tomorrow I have to attend a program, There's a parent-teacher meeting. So like this, I remember His Grace, what's his name? Jivananda Prabhu. He says, if Krishna came, just now and say, come, I'm taking you, he will say, wait a minute, I have to refurbish my kitchen. I've called all the people to come. They're going to change the planks. They're going to make a nice arrangement. So we are like this. We claim we want to go back to Krishna, but do we really want to go back to Krishna? Something to think about. Are we ready? Do we really want to? No, we are not. We're very attached to this material world. So first we must understand that the goal of Bhakti Yoga is to get back to Krishna in our original, loving, pure, constitutional position. And we must make up our minds, do I really want that goal? Or do I want a better material arrangement to enjoy this material world better? Something to think about.
Mother, I agree with you, because this taste for material, this concept of material happiness is strong in us. And until we actually experience strong feeling of happiness in devotional life, I don't see the way how we can artificially, renounce. And so the question is how to get this deep, this deep experience of Krishna consciousness that will overshadow any happiness we felt in this world. So maybe, what would you say, Sridevi?
Yeah, it is exactly what you said. We have to get that higher taste, Prabhu. We have to understand that everything material is always going to be temporary. It's never going to give me the complete soul satisfaction that I'm hankering for. And only by repeated trial and error, we will get the message. We are very conditioned, we are very stubborn, we are very rebellious, we don't really want to listen. So all these conditionings prevent us from accessing the higher taste. But only when we sincerely try, as you said, sincerity and seriousness is the key. Then Krishna says, oh, you really want me? Okay, I will help you. Dadami buddhi yogam tam. Tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam. Dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mam upayanti te. To those who are constantly devoted to serving me with love, I give the understanding by which they can come to me. And generally, for most of us, it's only when we get some kicks from the material energy we run to Krishna. As long as we are coasting along nicely, we say, oh, yeah, I've got my gulab jamun, I've got my rasgulla, I've got my this, I'll coast along. It's okay. It's not so bad. Cool down, Mataji. Why are you getting so red in the face trying to preach to me? I'm fine. I'm okay. Like this.
It's pious though. This is the pious people, because when they get distressed, lack of wealth, curious or want of knowledge, they are searching it they're searching for God. That's pious actually. It's glorious, but let's just because we have a good predisposition for something, we don't use the opportunity to actually master it. So yeah, I mean, it's anyone else would like to add, comment something? There is one thing I did kind of find in this connection I think once Maharaj had this last 6th canto, 16th chapter, 34 verse. I'm just gonna tell you what's the essence of that verse. It's speaking about how the devotee and Krishna kind of conquer each other. And when I was analyzing this verse, Prabhupada made three interesting connections. He said, I was mentioning this uninterrupted. He was mentioning that when we do not have any material desires anymore, then our service really becomes uninterrupted. Because, as I understand, that these material desires are the one who is constantly interrupting us to serve Krishna. It's constantly like, we're gonna on the Sankirtan, we're gonna distribute books, but then the mind is screaming, ice cream, ice cream. It's like where? Like no ice cream. Ice cream? No ice cream. Books. Let's keep our service. So anyway, and not only that, but he said also to have no material desires, then full surrender to the Lord also happens. That's interesting. When we don't have full material desires, when we don't want anything from this material world, then our full surrender to the Lord depends. And also one more thing happens. Okay, yes, we never want to use the Lord. We want to serve Him more and more. So the key thing is not have material desires, though, which is interesting. As we said, we need to get a higher taste, but to get a higher taste, we have the material desires which are stopping us to actually, practice, push ourselves more to actually get a higher taste. It sounds like like a bug in a web, bug in a spider web, just put in like a just like a coat around him, and you're like, help, how do I get out of this? So one way that here, at least, I think it is mentioned here, or I was trying myself when I was chanting. One thing, yeah, it actually written here in this verse that there is one desire. There's only one desire that devotee has, to have no material desires. And when I was chanting, I was trying to catch my mind, trying to desire something material and convince him, you don't need this. Do not try to fulfill your material desires, because there are two ways of fulfilling your desires, and Maharaj Gurudev says. One is to actually try to fulfill them, and then it's even worse. The second one is to neglect them or to let them go by Krishna's power and mercy. And it was kind of a really transformative experience when I was chanting and I was aware now I cannot be concentrated because of my material desires. So I was praying to Krishna, please let go of these material desires, please, and I'm consciously like trying to release them, trying to, mind to let them go, try to take these anarthas, which are misconceptions, that I can enjoy this world. And then I found that really that I managed to take the shelter of the holy name much more in this regard. And this is one of the things that Sachinandana Swami says, that we should feel some transformation in our hearts after the chanting, not only like some mental ecstasy because it's finished, but but also some really transformative thing in the heart, because it's Cheto Darbana Marjanam. So what is it cleansing? These anarthas. But of course, if we are keeping them there, then it's hard to clean something if I'm holding onto it. And so this is here it is written that many of these things come if we kind of let go of these anarthas, and at least I guess this is kind of a circle there where, okay, let's chant in the mood to release us from material desires. So when next time you're doing service, it will be much easier for us to surrender to the service, to get deeper realization, so we can get a higher taste, so that we can more ask to get rid of these material desires, and then try to reverse the process from spiraling down to spiraling up. So maybe like a inspiration for someone who would like to try it out. Let us know how it goes. And this is what my meditation is now as well, because this is the way how, when I find the verse in the Bhagavatam, I try to kind of take out the points, try to kind of apply it, meditate and apply it, and try it out, and then you see that the Bhagavatam is such a living person in a sense. So yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you for sharing that, Vrsabha. Really, really nice. Dear devotees, any other questions or comments? If not, there are no... Oh, Krishna Kaviraj Prabhu, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna, thank you very much. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj. Thank you so much for your class, Prabhu. I've been waiting to hear for messages like this. You are talking, I have some questions though.
Yes,
You're
please.
talking about when we're chanting, we have to be, it has to be strong enough so that we can let go of our material desires. But is that really possible? Because our chanting, we can't let go of material desires. Material desires will keep coming as long as we're in the material realm. So the only thing that we can try to do, I think, is try to not be in the spirit material realm and just try and chant 24 hours a day and focus on Krishna 24. We can't, it's actually difficult to focus on Krishna even. So focus on the holy names 24 hours a day and try and make that strong. And then maybe the material desires will dissipate because you're not in so much in that realm.
Thank you very much. I question myself in this regard constantly. And because you said a good point, we cannot take material desires ourselves, even though the holy name as Krishna can take them out if we sincerely try and endeavor to at least do our part. And I would actually like to even add on this, because then you're getting even more esoteric. So listen to this now. I have to pitch it correctly. So the process is chant every day, chant 24 hours a day, And of course, that's now there is one technical thing about chanting 24 hours a day. If we are chanting with Nama Aparada, you are increasing your material desires. You're increasing your anarthas. Depends of how much, I guess it's like not on the same level. But if you are really doing it like really whimsically, you can even increase our anarthas. As I was just in a lecture, and there it was mentioned by His Holiness Parandananda Maharaj. So I asked him, okay, then, for us newbies, new devotees, Nama Parada, so how do we, how do we purify ourselves with chanting? Then he said, by the association of pure devotee. And again, we come to the platform of actually getting the mercy and association of pure devotee is actually what gives the essence to all of our sadhana and everything. So yeah, that's like, wow. So yeah, if I still didn't make any conclusions on what to think about it, but now at least know that pure devotee, grab his feet, get more association, get more mercy you can, and try to chant sincerely as much as we can. And if we are speaking about 24 hours chanting, we are speaking about proper chanting, not like just like start to have like automatic parrot in my head doing it. So yeah, I'm still confused about that, but maybe if other devotees can add on to this. Maybe I'm a lack of faith here, so maybe somebody with more faith. I mean, I can develop more, sure. Sri Devi.
I don't think it's possible to chant 24 hours a day unless you've got to. We have to reach a certain standard because you have to be able to be engaged in that for that long, and
yeah,
unless you get to a certain level, we're not going to be able to do that. But if we keep trying,
yeah, sincerely trying, Krishna will give us intelligence, as Sri Devi said. If you are just sincerely trying, whatever we are trying, even chanting 24 hours a day, and we are doing it in Nama Parada, if we are sincerely trying it, Krishna will reciprocate for sure. But if we are like, just taking it, yeah, it's really, everything ends up in the attitude of the disciple. I guess it all comes to that in the end. If you're sincerely trying any of these instructions, Krishna will kind of correct you how to kind of get the end result. But if you're not sincere and you just take it like, a mechanical process, then, nothing will work on you, I guess. So yeah, please, Kaviraj Prabhu, I'm looking forward to say to others, I know one devotee, he's chanting 24 hours a day. He's Kaviraj Krishna Prabhu. So looking forward to you, Prabhu. Thank you. Yeah. Any more comments you want to say or something? Or Sri Devi? Anyone?
I was just thinking about Krishnadas Kaviraj Prabhu saying it's not possible to stop desires, so the only antidote is to chant 24/7, which would be nice if we could do that, and that is the goal, that is the aim. Sadhya, sadhana, sadhaka, like that. But it is possible to spiritualize our desires. Like you want to eat nice food, then take Krishna Prasadam. You want to see nice, beautiful thing, go see Krishna in the beautiful deity form in the temple. You want to hear nice things, hear about Krishna, Krishna Kirtan, Krishna Katha. So all these desires will be there. It won't go away. As he said, as long as there's life, there's desire. It's the nature of the soul to desire something. But we can spiritualize those desires. And again, as he said, by chanting, unnecessary material desires will just fall away. They will just fall away. In 3:17, Bhagavad Gita, in that purport, in the very last line, or the last, we can go there, Ekta. Bhagavad Gita 3:17, the last few lines, Srila Prabhupada is clearly saying that all these, infatuations with the material energy will just fall away. So this is the great benefit of engaging here. But for one who takes pleasure in the self, whose human life is one of self-realization, and who's satisfied in the self only, fully satiated, for him there is no duty. So here, the last two lines you can see. Such a Krishna conscious person is no longer interested in material activities, no longer takes pleasure in material arrangements like wine, women, similar infatuation. So slowly, slowly, these things will fall away, We don't have to worry so much, like, oh my God, like, yes, we are full of, all kinds of unlawful, illegal desires. We're full of all sorts of anarthas. But as long as we keep in the process, we are in the fire of purification, we are going to slowly get rid of those nasty things. It will happen in time. We have to be patient. Remember, utsaha, dhairyat, nischat. One must be enthusiastic, but one must also be determined, and one must also be patient. It's not going to happen suddenly overnight, but by slowly, steadily applying ourselves to the process, we will experience progress. That's what I wanted to say.
Is this for gross levels or subtle levels as well?
Both. First at the gross level, and then subtle anarthas are more difficult because they're very deep and they're not so visible, not so prominent.
We actually don't notice them. We think,
right.
this is the way how to do it.
Right. It's only when we become very, very introspective, very careful, very cautious, very conscious, then we'll start working on the deeper, subtle anarthas. But at least we must begin with the gross ones, and then later on the subtle anarthas also. We must keep working on it. Trinadapi sunichena taro riva sahishnuna amanina manadena kirtaniya sadahari. One should chant the holy name of the Lord in a humble state of mind, thinking oneself lower than the straw in the street. One should be more tolerant than a tree, completely devoid of all false prestige, and ready to offer all respects to others. In such a state of mind, one can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly.
Very well said, Mataji. Very good points, Hare Krishna. Very nice summing up. Absolutely.
Thank you for sharing your reflections there, Sridevi Mataji. We've got a question in the chat, but Krishna Gavrashprabhu, if your comment or question is related, we can take your one first if it's related to the discussion we've just had.
My question is on what Sri Devi Mataji just said. So you're saying that if we follow these processes that you described to spiritualize our desires, then slowly we'll reach our goal. And I want to know, how do we balance this? Because we're told we must be patient. The process is a slow process. But at the same time, we are told that we must try to achieve this in this life, this very life. Guru Maharaj says so often, don't wait for it to happen in a future life. Try to get this in this life. And we're also told that we don't know how long we've got in this life. So how can we balance trying to achieve in this life when we may not have much time left in this life, and going through the process and being patient and for the result to come slowly?
Right. Very nice question. Lord Brahma, in his prayers, Brahma Samhita 559, we can go there, says the highest degrees of devotion are attained by slow degrees, constant endeavor, perseverance in practice, and theistic conduct. We can go to 559 Brahma Samhita, Ekachakra Devi. So, how to balance? First and foremost, we all have only 24 hours a day. In those 24 hours, how am I using my time? How much I'm applying myself to the process? How much time am I wasting? We must feel the urgency to become Krishna conscious. But at the same time, we must carry out all our activities with quality, with sincerity. We can't rush through things because then we'll make a mess. See here. The highest devotion is attained by slow degrees, by the method of constant endeavor for self-realization with the help of scriptural evidence, theistic conduct, and perseverance in practice. So, it is going to come in time. So we cannot fast forward there's no fast forward button for bhakti, Zoom in 6 months flat. I'm going to become pure devotee. No, that won't happen. At least if you're Dhruva Maharaj, it can happen. But because at least I'm not Dhruva Maharaj, I know it's definitely going to take longer than 6 months for me. So how we are utilizing our time, our energies, our talents every day, watching to see how we can perfect our chanting, our services, our sadhana every day. That means constant endeavor for self-realization. Then scriptural evidence, which means scriptural study actually. That means daily reading of Prabhupada's books, daily hearing, which is what we are doing. Theistic conduct, that means one behaves very properly with proper attention to etiquette, morality, ethics. There's no question of spirituality without our morals and ethics being correct, by the way. And perseverance in practice means applying ourselves daily, patiently, not worried even if the result doesn't come immediately. Let's go to 624 of Bhagavad Gita, my dear Ekachakra. There, Srila Prabhupada writes, success is sure for the rigid practitioner and one should not be, there we go. The yoga practitioner should be determined and should patiently prosecute the practice without deviation. One should be sure of success at the end and pursue this course with great perseverance, not becoming discouraged if there is any delay in the attainment of success. Success is sure for the rigid practitioner. So one must not be too worried about, oh, will I be successful? Will I be successful? Yes, there is success at the end and it will take some time in coming. But what is my endeavor? Doing my best for the day. That's all that I have. I have no control over the past. I have no control over the future. All I have is the present. So today, let me make a nice, concerted, sincere effort to serve Guru and Krishna. Let me try to chant my rounds nicely. Let me try to serve nicely. Let me try to read nicely, hear nicely. So like this, every day, little by little, as we keep practicing, we will become proficient. And the day will come when we'll be qualified to go back to Krishna, which is what we are waiting for. Is that all right?
Can I clarify? So when Guru Maharaj says that we must try to get out of, I can't remember the exact words he uses, so I'm just going to say what I think he's saying. We must try to get out of material life in this life. Then what he's really, the meaning behind it is that we must be really serious about it and endeavor for the maximum amount of time each day and every day consistently, not necessarily about the result, but about the seriousness and the endeavor day after day.
Right, exactly. You summed it up very nicely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, exactly. This is what we were saying in the class, that about you're doing your best every day and you're at the same time cultivating dependence on the Lord, and then you will see all the perfection coming. Chakadam,
Yes.
there are some comments, you said?
There's just one question in the chat from Sakshi Mataji. Hare Krishna, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Thank you for the class. I was thinking of how we have this tendency to cheat Krishna. When some unfavorable situation arises, we tend to pray and take shelter of Guru, Vaishnavas, and Krishna, and even give them a promise to be sincere. Then, by their mercy, if the situation somehow settles down, we get comfortable and forget what we had experienced and go on as usual. So we cheat them. Any reflections on this?
Yeah, it's an amazing point. One of the things that actually, because I had similar experience recently. It is changing our paradigm. What does it mean to surrender to the Lord? Because the more we are reading Prabhupada's books and we are kind of really trying to reflect on what is written, then you understand that, like this point of uninterrupted. I was like, uninterrupted, yeah. It's like, I think I know what does it mean, but then, when I understood, like, wait a second, uninterrupted means that even though if you're distracted, you're still serving. Okay, then this is like a new concept now for me. Okay, next time I'm distressed, okay, in my case, like, going out or something, and I'm distressed, or my mind is not, my mind is flipping out or something, I should anyway go and serve, because now I understand that actually this is what it means unconditional, unbroken. So by knowledge, I understood theoretically what I'm doing wrong, and then I'm going to apply it to get vijnana. So this is an amazing point. It's not that we are actually, I don't think that any of us are consciously cheating Krishna. It's like, I'm going to go Krishna consciousness and I'm going to cheat Krishna. Like with these small fingers, like here. No, nobody's nobody's taking up this process, which is austere by itself, just to cheat Krishna. It's like, what kind of demons would it be? But because we are unconscious of it, we are conscious of what we are doing, what is wrong, what we are doing. And why is it wrong? As we would be unconscious how to react on other people, we would not understand, is this wrong? I was just, doing this or that. The one thing that did help to me, and I hope that also some other devotees have other also inputs on this, is to read, really reflect on what we are reading in Maharaj's classes and try to see, do I understand what is said? Am I doing this exactly, or I'm doing something else? And then you will find yourself, actually, no, I'm doing this some differently. Okay, but it seems like I should do it in this other way by the word. So let me try it out. So in this way, we were gonna unconsciously stop cheating Krishna. I don't know if anyone else would like to add on this. Yeah, Sridevi Kijay. Was that okay?
Yes, actually, Mataji said thank you. No other questions in the chat, Prabhu, but just appreciations from everyone for the wonderful class. Krishna Kavash, Prabhu, you've got your hand up.
You said the Siddhanta.
I have a comment and a question.
Let's
The
say.
comment is just remembering something that Guru Maharaj said to us repeatedly on different occasions. He said that nobody can ever cheat Krishna. They can only cheat themselves.
Because we are not getting Krishna. Yeah, we are the one cheating ourselves. Perfect. Very nice.
Yeah. Hare Krishna. I was just about to say that what Krishna Kaviraj Prabhu said, that we are thinking or saying loud, but deep down we are cheating ourselves. It's just like if somebody's joining the gym and going to the gym every day, and after months somebody says, "Oh, how are you doing?" "Oh, I'm going to the gym," and they don't see no results. So that means you cheating yourself. You're going to the gym, paying all the money, but not working on yourself. So, by saying cheating Krishna, you're not cheating Krishna only, you're cheating yourself first. And once you are serious and sincere in devotional service, and then you see the results coming, then automatically you will stop cheating yourself, and you will be more doing endeavor. You will be more serious and sincere and work hard at it, because you see the results. It's end of the day, it's the result we are after, isn't it? So when you see the result, why would you be cheating yourself or Krishna? That's my thoughts.
Krishna is really witty, you know. He gives you first day, he gives you the results just to kind of inspire you. The second day is like, now you have to depend on me. Krishna Kaviraj Prabhu had a question.
Yes, it's that we're so often, and even in the class and the discussion, we're so often hear about how much are we chanting, how many rounds are we chanting, how much are we reading, we must read a lot, and how much are we associating with devotees. And there's all this focus on the externals, and it just like it's a distraction, because our real sadhana and our real seva is internal. Like we may not necessarily be read all of the books or even 50% of the books. We may just be focusing on one book or one chapter, or as Guru Maharaj said, even one verse. It's how much we are endeavoring to absorb that knowledge and digest it and absorb it and discuss it. And with chanting, it's not about how many rounds we're chanting. It's about how absorbed are we in that chanting? How much are we connecting internally? And the same with sadhana. We may be around pure devotees, but we may not be getting any association because we may still be on the material realm whilst we're with them. So, have you got any instruction on how to endeavor on the internal and not on the external?
I wouldn't say instruction because I think it would be a high word for. It's really. I was reflecting when you were saying this. Because you were saying about the quality of chanting, the quality of our inner results than external results. They were saying, chant, do this, do that, do this, do that. It reminded me of one point that Prabhupada mentions in the purport, I think it's in the fourth canto. Nobody can act purely if nobody can hear purely if he is not pure in action. Nobody can be pure in action if he's not pure in mind. Nobody can be pure in mind if he's not pure in eating, sleeping, eating, mating, and defending, and such. And it actually is like that, because just yesterday I was here in Ljubljana temple. You have when there is no Bhagavad Gita class, we were hearing some Prabhupada's quotes. It's kind of a videos where Prabhupada speaks, and it's about different topics. He was mentioning he was explaining what Jai Radha Madhava means. What we are seeing usually before Bhagavatam. What is the meaning of it? It struck me so deeply what he said, and it's not that I never heard it before. Is it? It's not that some devotees even hear this Prabhupada's explanation of Maha Mantra that was on these cassettes every day. So even though the same is message, but how deeply we are able to understand it, how deeply is able to influence us internally, and that's so that's why we're doing the same process as Maharaj is doing, the same thing as we are doing, but he's doing on the so high level of purity than we are doing. And this is what we are trying to be. We are trying to be pure. That's why we are doing all these external activities. That's why we are listening and we are following his instructions, so that we can get the mercy to actually be more pure, to actually, when we are hearing, chanting, reading, that we can really go in deep into it. Yeah, it's all about it's in the end it's about internal development, means changing the attitude of the soul of being independent of the Lord and the controller, enjoyer, and to be as totally surrendered to the Lord and fully sheltered, fully peaceful of not having whatsoever knowing what will happen next next moment. Yeah, this is because in the end, as you know, when you come to Krishna Loka, on the door of Krishna Loka, nobody will ask you how many books you distributed, you know, or like how many lectures you gave, or how many retreats you organized. Nobody's gonna ask you that. They will ask you how much Krishna Bhakti you have. This they will ask you. Do you love Krishna and how much? But all of these other things are helping us to purify our existence. That's why I don't see I'm really looking forward for the farm communities. I'm looking forward to it. I was just in the farm community just 1 week ago for 3 days. I was eating even raw. I was eating raw vegetables like the whole day. We were actually eating like this, these ascetics in the forests, eating like fruits, some leaves, So we were eating like that. And you're in a peaceful environment. Okay, there were frogs a lot, but anyway, there were frogs next to the house. But they were like, nice air, nice land, no distractions. You eating like this, like pure food. And I just felt all these toxins getting out of my body. And like first time after a while, I woke up by myself in like 2 and 3 in the morning, like fresh. I was like, wow, I don't have to force myself to get out. And it's just everything was much easier to do all these things, much easier to hear, to chant, and of course, if you are sincere, you will use this opportunity and advance. But if you are unsincere, then you will just use this to enjoy, still. So, but I'm looking forward to these environments where we can, you don't have to, kill our brains with all of this, unnecessary information from the internet, from the neighbors, all these unnatural sounds around us, and we can really, we can really easily go deep into our sadhana and the meaning of the verses, and really kind of that every of these Maharaja's classes restruct us a lot, influence us a lot, and change us a lot. So, is this something in line with what you were saying?
I don't know. It helps.
I hope it's interesting at least.
Of course,
I hope it's
definitely.
interesting because it really kind of influenced me a lot. I mean, but how to go deeper into it is to, be conscious. If you are conscious of what you're doing, you can internalize it. Otherwise, if you're not conscious of what you're doing, you're externalizing it, right? So, you're always trying to be conscious of it, and you just continue, and that you will be more profound. And introspective, it means internal. So introspective, conscious. I was distributing books, and some people I felt so nice after distributing books. But after some people, because I'm pushing too much, I felt so bad. So I'm doing the same thing. I'm distributing books, but in one person's I feel so good after that, and after another person I feel so bad. It's like, oh, I feel so guilty now. So internally, but if you say like, no, doesn't matter, book distribution, do it as ever you want, then I'm just giving an example. Then you are externally, and then you are not advancing, and it's just, I don't know, you're nonsense, rascal with books, So I think you're doing it already, bro.
Not enough.
That's good. That's a good attitude. That's a good attitude. But anyway, Hosty, you are like the one who is kind of just stopping us. Anyway, thank you, Devot. I'm here because I like to hear your thoughts here. I'm not, this is part where you're all speaking and giving lecture to me.
Sorry.
No, please, thank you.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. So, no more questions, but it's been a really wonderful class today and a really wonderful discussion. So, thank you so much, firstly, Vrsabha Prabhu, for enlightening us, and all of the devotees who joined today. Thank you so, so much. I hope you have a wonderful rest of the day, absorbed in all of the wonderful Krishna conscious activities you'll be doing, or at least internally meditating on. And we'll see you in tomorrow's class, hopefully.
Thank you.
Namo
Vaishnavebhyo namo namah.